with us now as we take you on a journey from the heart of New South Wales through the Hunter Valley to the beautiful beaches of the Central Coast.
Over 4 episodes, we'll be exploring the iconic and rugged landscapes on offer from Dubbo to Nelson Bay and all the other surprises in between.
So pack your bags and climb on board with us as we take you on the ultimate bush to beach adventure.
It's time to see this land of wonder. It's time to go and see what's up down under. What's up down under?
G'day and welcome to the show. Today's the 3rd episode of our 4-part journey from Dubbo through to Nelson Bay.
And it's all been brought to you thanks to our great mates at G&S Chassis, Galaxy Caravans and Lotus Caravans.
Today we're going to leave the muddy tracks of Bylong Creek behind and head for the coast to Newcastle.
So come along with us as we show you
what's up down under. Picking up from where we left off last week, we find ourselves camped in the rough and wild landscape of the glorious Bylong Creek 4x4 park. But before we get out on the road to the next part of our trip, here's Sal from G&S Chassis with a few handy tips on how to pack away your camping gear before a big day out on the road.
Just packing up from camp. We've got another rough day ahead of us, so we might as well make sure everything's nice and secure, doesn't fall out of trailers, and check all our tyre pressures and everything's right to go again for another big day. Make sure when you pack up, you tie things up properly so they don't fall out of the side of your tarps and your swags and all that, don't fall out. And make sure everything's secure. Anything that's made out of glass or whatever, you pack it away neatly because it will rattle and break. So you're going to have to pack everything up properly. It's important on trips like this.
Well, it had rained all night at Bylong Creek, and as much as we'd had a good night, the weather had a great night, so it just kept pouring. So whatever was greasy in the afternoon on the way in was greasier in the morning. And now we'd flogged those things to get them up the hill to get in. What goes up must come down, and we had to head the other way. And all of a sudden, we got big caravans not pulling us back, they're pushing us down. So it's a whole different ball game. But everyone lined up, there was a bit of apprehension there. We all talked ourselves through it. We got ourselves to the point where we had the vehicles set up for it. Tyre pressures were right, everything we could do. And then down the hill we went, and one after the other, they performed like champions, but they all held their footing and made it to the bottom. So just like that, we said goodbye to the wet and wild tracks of Bylong Creek and began to make our way east through the Hunter Valley towards the coast. About 2.5 hours from the rugged and rural terrain of Bylong Creek, we stumbled across the town of Kurri Kurri, where we decided to drop in for a quick pit stop in search of more adventure. Oh, g'day. I've been cruising around in this 2017 model Lotus Freelander. Now, even though it's just me in it, it's actually made for a whole family and made for them to go anywhere they want in all the comfort they need. You've got 2 bunks here for the kids, plenty of storage where they can put all their clothes, their bits and bobs. You know they bring everything with them. Over here, somewhere to cook them something to eat. That's going to keep them happy out there on the road. Got a full oven and hot plates there to prepare all the meals, sink to clean up after, and have a look at the storage. Could you really fill all those cupboards up with food? I doubt it. Back behind me there, we've got the ensuite. Full-size shower, toilet, plenty of room in there for the family to clean themselves up after those dirty days out there on the tracks. Queen size bed for mum and dad, and again, all the storage for their stuff, all in one area of the van, so you don't get it mixed up with the kids. Now, I'm going to hit some tracks today that are going to be pretty rugged. Things are going to move around in here, and I always worry about that. So, everything in its place, a place for everything. What I don't have to worry about is anything out here because the Freelander's sitting on top of a G&S chassis and control rider suspension. Now, G&S have been building chassis and suspensions for about as long as I've been alive, so I know that I can take the Freelander to anywhere I've planned to be, anywhere my dreams are, and it's going to get me there and back again without a problem. The girls and boys at Lotus then build that caravan that we've become accustomed to from them, full of comfort, full of strength, and full of all those storage options that we need to take all our toys with us to our little spot and enjoy ourselves. If you want any more information on Lotus Caravans, just go to lotuscaravans.com.au and all your questions will be answered. This episode of What's Up Down Under is brought to you by our mates at GNS Chassis. To find out more, head to gnschassis.com.au and make sure you buy a caravan with a GNS chassis. The time had come again for us to get back on the road and keep this bush to beach adventure moving. Just half an hour east of Kurri Kurri, we rolled into the iconic New South Wales city of Newcastle. And just a stone's throw out of town, we made our way to the stunning Stockton Beach Holiday Park, where I caught up with Mark from GNS to have a quick chat. Mark, following you down the road today, I was looking forward to the mesmerising sway of the caravan in front of me, and I didn't have it. You had it towing like a bullet, mate. What's your secret?
Oh, just getting the balance right. You know, as you're travelling, you're stopping, you're starting, you're taking things out, you're putting things back in again, drinking your water, eating your food, drinking your beers. Just make sure that when you pack up and get back on the road, that you've got the balance right. Make sure there's between 8 and 15% on the ball so that you get a nice load, get going straight when you tow.
So 8 to 15% of your total load that you've got should be on the ball of the caravan to keep it running down the road like yours was.
Absolutely. Just make sure that that's what the tow vehicle can handle on the ball.
So do your research, get out your owner's manual, find out what your maximum tow ball weight of that car is, and then balance that up with the 8 to 15%, and you'll be as good as gold.
Correct.
Brilliant. Now, Tanya's out there finding out what there is around the park for us to see and do. Why don't we finish getting settled in? When she gets back, we'll be right to tackle the day.
Go for it.
Well, that's it for today's episode. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
It's all been brought to you thanks to our great mates at GNS Chassis, Lotus Caravans, and of course, Galaxy Caravans.
Join us next week when we show you more of What's Up Down Under.
What's up, down